What's It Like TV. About 25 years ago, I met Leonard Padilla because me and my partner at the time found his ad in the yellow pages of the phone book, and we thought it would be interesting to do a story where we followed around a bounty hunter for a significant amount of time. And it so happened to be that Leonard was an incredible bounty hunter. At the time, we didn't even know this because this was sort of before there was a big internet presence about anything like that. And he had a partner at the time, Rob, who was sort of like his apprentice. And this was without a doubt the most interesting experience I've ever had filming someone, because Leonard is larger than life. He is one of the most interesting people I have ever met. And I thought it would be kind of cool to take some of the clips from the first story that we did about him and put them all together so people can kind of get an idea of what it's like to follow around the world's greatest bounty hunter.
And I said, "You want to die today?" So I guess I don't have anything to do except what I learned when I was little, and that was just to work.
Today, Leonard Padilla is one of the most successful bounty hunters to date. During the height of his career, he made over $700,000 a year for a 3-year period.
In 30 years I've been doing this, I have probably missed less than 6 people and arrested probably, or caused the arrest of over 4,000. Legitimate skips that I've caught. Not make-believe like some of these guys, "Oh, I caught 5,000, I caught 6,000. No, it's legitimate. I've got the files on every one of them, you know.
Few can rival his numbers or his reputation.
Everybody knows who I am by just looking. That's Padilla.
The reason Leonard is so good is because Leonard doesn't understand the word try or no. I mean, if he puts his mind to it, he's going to do it. And that's really what it takes.
Throughout the streets of Sacramento, the neon glow of the Padilla Empire assaults passers-by from all sides.
In Sacramento, I see the bail industry being a pyramid. You're going to have someone on the top who's kind of the godfather of everything, who's going to allow everybody to do what they can do. If you're going to be successful, Leonard gives you his blessing. And if Leonard doesn't give you your blessing, you're not going to be successful.
You'll get youngsters that are 24, 25 years of age and, "Hey, I want to start my own agency. Will you give me a hand?" I'm probably the only guy in the industry that doesn't say, "Yeah, but here's what it's going to cost you." I've never said that to anybody. I've always said, "Yeah, I'll give you a hand, and here's what you should do, and here's the rules, and here's the regs." Subsequently, you become some kind of a godfather figure to them because they feel, "Hey, this guy, God, I can't believe it. He gave me a hand, I'm started, I'm making big bucks, I got my boat, I got my car, and he ain't charged me no money." So, you become the godfather.
About the only thing Rob and his crew can count on is each other.
It's a situation where you just really, really have to love your brother that you're working with. You have to just cherish his ability and be just part of his life and know that, hey, if something comes down, I'll lay it down for him, because a guy like Rob will jump down in front of you. He'll take a bullet for you. He's got what it takes to do that.
A guy could know exactly which house the bad guy's in, and he'll say, "Well, I don't know which one, but he's in one of these two."
You got any money for your books? Okay, take care. A lot of these guys don't have any money when they hit the jail, and they can't buy a toothbrush or toothpaste or any, stationery or anything to write with. I give them $20, it's no big deal. A lot of people, they say, "Well, Leonard, that's why you ended up in divorce." Well, maybe that's what it was. I don't know. I probably didn't care that much about marriage as I did about bounty hunting.
In 1981, his office was bombed. Some believe the bombing was part of a plot by rival bail bond companies to kill Leonard in hopes of taking over the head of the Sacramento bail bond industry.
The profession has a lot of jealousy in it. I call it the green mist of jealousy. There's a lot of jealousy because people that get into it usually have an ego that's probably sometimes a little bigger than their intelligence level. There was a faction, the old-timers, and they didn't like to see what was happening to the industry. I was basically the first individual that helped some young black gentlemen get into the business. I was the first one to help Mexicans get into the business, Mexican women. The old-timers didn't like that. It created a situation where some of the people got together, there was a lot of jealousies, and they hired some youngsters and they tried to kill me. That was back in May 19th of 81. The situation failed because of my paranoia that caused me to get everybody out of the building when I saw somebody walk into the bathroom and walk out without the package that he was carrying. You get rid of me and you get rid of the head of the organization that we operate bail in Northern California through. So I'm very paranoid. I mean, if there's a vehicle on J Street alongside of me, I'll either make sure he gets ahead of me or gets behind me, but I won't let nobody, just kind of drive along me. If there's a vehicle in back of me, I'll actually make a turn or slow down till it passes me or speed up. It's a lonely place at the top. And then there's always the young guys that are always trying to take you on and want to knock you off and play king of the mountain with you.
But they're not the only ones after Leonard. So is the IRS.
All the money in America belongs to the IRS. When they decide they want to get mean with you, they can get mean with you.
And after a few $100,000 years not reporting his income, they did.
I thought that the case that we had on Leonard was put together in excellent fashion by the IRS agent involved, and that we had a rock-solid case on Mr. Padilla.
When you make a statement like I can do 1 year standing on my head, you don't even back off. I mean, probation wanted to give me 5 months house arrest or something like that, but the IRS wanted a year because they get, like I say, they work on a brownie point system. You don't break bottles of champagne over in the Justice Department open because you send a guy to 5 months house arrest. You've got to send him to prison. I told him, I said, I'll go do my year. I got no problem. And when when the halfway house opportunity came up, I told him I didn't want it.
We never talked to him about cooperation. With that kind of money, nowadays you'd have to tell us where bin Laden is, not to do any time.
When they sent me down there, it was to teach me a lesson. And I said, okay, that's fine, and I don't need no visitors either. And they said, well, you got to have visitors, we can't, no, you're not going to hassle my family down there with those room temperature IQ guards. No.
If you don't pay taxes and you owe several $1 million, yeah, you deserve to be in prison for that. There are a lot of people out there earning a lot less money, and they pay their taxes, and it's a way of making sure that everyone pays their fair share. So if Leonard didn't enjoy his time in prison, well, so be it. It's not meant to be, a nice place to go.
But even prison didn't slow him down. He continued to hunt fugitives behind bars.
I got a hold of a couple of ex-marshals that were retired, paid them $10,000, directed them to the guy. They picked him up and brought him back to Sutter County here in California. All the way in Cambodia while I'm sitting on a garbage can in prison. I mean, bounty hunter, you want to go to the beach? Okay, guy, go to the beach, and it's just it's a mental thing. It's a characteristic of individuals that want to be bounty hunters, and yet they want to have the cake and eat it too. You're a bounty hunter, you're a bounty hunter. You want to be a beach boy, be a beach boy.
I've learned a lot from Leonard. I could probably learn a lot more from him. Just because we're going in two different directions, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going forward and make something for myself.
I'm proud of Rob because he's one of my students. There's no doubt about it in my mind that every time that I, in the future, will hear about him doing great things, in large part, it'll be because simply he ran into me and I took him under my wing. Otherwise, I don't know. He might have ended up being like a couple of the other guys that came for me and said, hey, can you help us out, one thing and another, and they've ended up being security guards or things of that nature. He'll never have to go back to being a security guard, that's for sure. He wants to do some bounty hunting, serious bounty hunting, and he doesn't know how to pick up the phone and say, hey, you got something to work on?
If you've got a story to tell, send us a message. What's It Like TV.